It's Kyle. There's a video that I want to make about freedom, and I've tried twice, and I couldn't do it. And the reason I tried and couldn't do it is because I was trying, because I had an agenda. Because when I started making the video, I knew what I wanted to say. And because of that, I didn't allow the flow of what my heart wanted to say. It was more, I need to say this point that I thought of before. The more and more I do the work that I do, the more I have no control over what comes up. I have no idea what I'm going to say. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say. And every time I go, I need to say this, then I make my expectations more important than what's coming up in any given moment. So there probably will be a video about freedom. In fact, it's coming up for me that I can tell you part of it. But it's so weird. This is so weird. The way I said that sounded like a crazy person. But your external freedom is a mirror of your internal freedom. And to give you a quick example of that, if you're in a relationship that you don't feel free in, they're emotionally or physically abusive, or you just feel you can't be yourself in the relationship, it's not uncommon for us to stay in the relationship, to choose to not be free when we have the choice of leaving. We have so many things in our lives that we could leave. We have freedom of choice right now. Now, I know there's all kinds of external things going on. There's all kinds of the people running for president are scary to a lot of people. There's all kinds of conspiracies coming in. There's all these different things. But what's really crazy is we really get a match externally to what we have going on internally. And when you connect with yourself and you notice that the biggest, most scariest thing in the world is the thing in here, is the voice in your head that you think is you. Until you understand that and transcend it through love, you can't get rid of the voice through getting rid of it. You can only transcend it by loving it. So if you connect with yourself and love yourself, of course you wouldn't put yourself in an external situation that's a trap. And often when people are in crappy relationships or crappy jobs, if they stay in it, they have freedom to leave it. They have freedom to do something that's freer. And what they choose to do, and what we all choose to do in some way or another, is complain about the external while not doing anything about it. All the issues of things where we don't feel like we're a free country, where we feel like these things are happening to us, all of these things are just a mirror of what we're putting out internally. And we will demand to be encaged to match what we're doing to ourselves. And if you actually want freedom, first of all, fear is not freedom, just so you know. If you're in fear, you're not free. Freedom isn't telling everybody how everything's going to go wrong and that they better be careful. That's fear. And fear is a prison. Fear is a prison that cuts you off from the infinite love that you are. And we have to free ourselves now. And the world can only overpower us if we are in fear. It has power over us when you're in fear. When you are in a place of love, nothing has power over you. It really doesn't. Because people that want to control you, whether it be friends in your life, whether it be a boss, whatever, they want to intimidate and control, they can only control fear. If you love yourself, you move to a place where something can't get you because you're not scared of that thing. And if they're trying to be scary, that's because they're in fear in their head, and they're using their fear to dominate over your fear. Because when you're in fear, your goal is winning. It's not loving. So it's interesting because we're all in a place of wanting to be free externally, but we don't at all. Because for 38 years, I've had all kinds of times that I've worried. I've worried about a different conspiracy I read about. I've worried about, who was going to be the next president and all this stuff. And here I am, 38 years old, still alive, Still totally free to do a lot of the things that I want to do. And I haven't used 99% of that freedom. I haven't used that freedom to go do really other things, like go to another country. We have the freedom to go to another country right now. You have the freedom to do all kinds of stuff. We have the freedom to talk on the internet. And I know there's people whose minds go, you won't soon. Well, until that happens, you're encaged in your own head. Because even if you're scared that in a year from now they'll take our internet away, or you won't be able to go to other countries, or things are going to get much more difficult, realize until that actually happens, you're enslaving yourself now, not taking advantage of these things and thinking about what the problem is outside. Things can only dominate us if we're in a place of fear. And we have the opportunity to have free moments. We have the opportunity to get away from social media, and we have the opportunity to get away from CNN. We have the opportunity to get away from Fox News, and we have the opportunity to go sit in a forest for a month and totally free ourselves from our anxieties and fears and addictions. But we don't take it. We'd rather encage ourselves on the phone. We'd rather just be addicts. We'd rather look through Facebook and do all of these addictive things, while we have the opportunity to feel freer and freer and freer. Some of us are addicted to controlling people and worrying and anxiety. We're addicted to anxiety. When you have anxiety, you could go to a place of just loving the anxiety and allowing it to transcend and leave. And sometimes people go, well, I don't know who I am without my victim story. I don't know who I am without my problem. I don't know who I am without my addiction. So I'm going to keep this addiction because I'm scared that I won't get love from somebody, because that's how I wired myself in my childhood. So realize that as we're screaming all day, we need to be free. We're doing everything we can to stay mentally enslaved. And this is really the only thing that is interesting to me and that I'm not free about, because it's something I'm worried about, is no one talks about this. We argue about what way externally we should use to become free. And it'll never work externally, because if it's not okay in here, you're going to do everything you can to keep your external world small so that you can feel good about the issues that you have in your head to match that. So even if some politician came in and totally freed the entire planet, we would be horrified that we don't have an authority to tell us what to do. We'd be horrified that we have now the power to make our own decisions, because right now we have the power to make our own decisions and hardly any of us do it. So if you're seeking freedom, as I hear people all the politicians talk about a country that's free and all this stuff like that, that's great. I want that too. But first we got to do it here. If you're free, you will be a place of love, and the world won't be able to scare you, and it won't have power over you. And the more of us that do that, the more those control systems outside of us collapse, because the control systems inside of us collapse. And when you're a place of love, people can't intimidate you. They're horrified because when they see you, they'll have to face their issues, and they'll have to face their truth, and they'll have to forgive themselves and forgive their crap from their past and go to a place of love. This is actually the step-by-step of how the only way we can change the world is by changing ourselves. The only way we can do it is by going to a place of love and learning how to free ourselves. So if you actually want freedom, this is my recommendation. Get the hell off of the internet for a while. Get the hell off of social media. Stop thinking that you're a victim to your circumstances. Your circumstances are a victim to you. And the only reason we keep getting the same circumstances is because we stare at the circumstances and focus on it, so the circumstances keep staying the same. If you want to do that, get off that stuff. Go away. Go away to a place like nature and let your issues come up. Let your issues come up. Go away for a couple weeks. And when you have your mind go, yeah, but I can't because, watch my video that I posted the other day about here's an exercise you can do. But go away for a while and allow the story of the childhood you that didn't feel like you got love unless you did things a certain way. They're going to come up. And you're going to sit there in the woods and they're going to go, I got to do this. I got to do this. And you're like, who do you need to do that for? Who are you worried will hurt you if you don't do it? And you'll start to love this childhood you that needs that love. And this you will suddenly feel like it's got attention that it never got its whole life. And it will finally be able to dissolve into you because finally you paid attention to it. You didn't try to overfix it. You didn't try to ignore it. You didn't try to repress it. You didn't switch to an addiction. And if you go out for a while and you get a tent or you get an RV and you go chill under the stars and relax near some trees and get the hell off of Facebook and all of the media. You will transcend a part of you. Your emotional journey. It's like nature. It's like if you cut your arm, it's like we cut our arm. This would be like the equivalent of if we cut our arm when we were kids and then we spend our entire childhood going, why isn't it healing? And our whole life we're trying to do the work of healing itself, but it knows how to naturally heal itself, and it knows how to do it with your emotions too. So if you want to be free, free yourself of your old story. Free yourself of these fears that linger in your body by taking some time away and going like 10 days and letting your old story fall apart and fall in love with yourself. And then bring that into the world. And when you suddenly feel a connection to yourself, watch as anyone that tries to control you is suddenly blown away by how much they don't have power over you, and then will allow themselves to feel that same love inside themselves. And the only reason they were trying to control is because they didn't love themselves either. So that's the way that we actually get freedom. Not by screaming at certain people, not by dominating, not by yelling that we aren't free to people at conventions. You got to love yourself. It doesn't work any other way. You got to get to a place where you're willing to receive the freedom that's awaiting you. Because if you're not willing to receive the freedom, it won't be able to show up. You'll actually be focused on what's wrong and put that power into those things versus truly loving yourself and actually being free and letting the world match what you just became.